Welcome to Grow and Preserve. I'm Carter. I'm thrilled you're here today. I'm participating in the Every Bit Counts Challenge, which was started by Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. Today, I would like to do some crushed tomatoes, but I don't quite have enough. So I'm going to show you what to do when you have a good batch of ripe tomatoes, a good batch of not quite ripe yet tomatoes, and then the rest of them are still out on the plants. So I would like to have 20 pounds. I'd like to do 12 pints, a full, one of my big canners, a full canner of crushed tomatoes. So for 12 pints, you need a 1.5-ish, maybe 1.5 plus tomato or pounds of tomatoes per pint jar, depending on how much liquid is in there, how much you cook them down. So I'd like to get up to 20 pounds of tomatoes before I start this process. So I have 10 pounds, which actually you saw it in the thumbnail, that picture in the thumbnail. I'll stick it up again for a second. 10 pounds of tomatoes that are ripe and ready to go. So what I'm going to do is get these ready for the freezer, and then they're going to wait for the rest of the tomatoes in there. So I'm going to bring you down in a second and show you this, but this is a bunch of little Romas. Sorry about the cat. I have a bunch of little Romas that are ready to go into the freezer. So I think this is really technically a strawberry huller, but it works quite well. So I'm going to bring you down here and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay. So I have a bowl here holding up a freezer baggie. I'm going to just put all the tomatoes, once I hold them and slice them at the end, I'm going to put them right in there, and then when I'm done, I'll mark on it how many pounds are in there, and they'll go straight in the freezer. So here's my strawberry huller. This just couldn't be any easier here. Done. If there are any bad spots, I'll go ahead and take those out. And then I'm going to put a little slit here on the end. So here's the big bonus. Aside from being able to wait until you have enough tomatoes, the big bonus with sort of pre-preserving, freezing your tomatoes, is that when you pull these out of the freezer and they defrost, getting ready to be canned, these skins are going to slip right off. So you don't have to do that boiling water bath to ice bath and then peel, and it's messy. Well, it'll still be messy. But it is one less step I'm going to have to take then. I still have to do this part of it, but that's the easy part. So anyway, I'm going to get going on these 10 pounds of tomatoes and get them all in the freezer. And then hopefully I'll have enough by next week that we should be able to get going. Oops, that one has a big bad spot. I'm going to cut that off. That we should be able to get going on our crushed tomatoes. Debated for a long time whether I was going to do some crushed and some diced or all diced. But looking back at some of my recipes that I use, or not even recipes, but dishes I like to put together, I do use a lot of crushed tomatoes. So now my goal is to get, sorry, this one has a really big bad spot on it, so I'm going to cut that. So I'm going to go for 12 pints of crushed tomatoes and 12 pints of diced tomatoes. And if I get any extra at the end of the season after I make the other things I want to make, then I'll do some more diced probably. So I do have several things I would choose crushed over diced for. So I think that makes the most sense. So once I get all of these ready to go, I'll stick them in the freezer, label them, wait for the rest, and quite frankly, I may go ahead when I have another 10 pounds that are ready to go, I may prepare those for the freezer as well so that I don't have to deal with the skin issue at all. And I'll save that off because I'll have to do that for my diced tomatoes. So let me bring you back up. So that's it today, just a very short little preservation effort today, but that's okay. It's going to save me a lot of trouble later, and it's going to allow me to do one big batch instead of having to do 2 or 3 smaller batches. as I wait for tomatoes to come in. So I hope that this helps you if you're waiting on your tomatoes to come in. You know, the indeterminates can come in over a 3 or 4 week period, and it's great. People say it comes in all at once, but it doesn't actually come in all at once. So this is a great way to hold you over. If you are gonna do diced tomatoes, I prefer not to freeze those first, but crushed tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, whole tomatoes, anything that's gonna go into the jar hot, you know, anything that's always going to be cooked when you pull it out, is great this way. So I hope you'll give it a shot. Thank you so much for being here today. Loved having you, and I hope that you will like the video. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll go check out some of my other videos. They'll be up here. I'm not sure exactly where they end up or down, but please go take a look, and do go type in hashtag Every Bit Counts Challenge into the search bar, and you'll see some of the others that are participating. So again, thank you for being here. I'm glad you were with me. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.